Good morning, everybody. Jared here with Day Traders FX. Happy morning to you. It's a beautiful Thursday, and we have seen a lot of movement out of pound pairs. So we had a little bit of news and a little bit of movement right here. Looks like the Bank of England is much more likely to raise rates in the very near future, even though rates remained unchanged today. Um, After the meeting minutes and the rate statement and so on, it appears that a May rate hike is pretty much 80+%, and a June rate hike is inevitable. So the pound is really going crazy from that news, and that's really kind of caused quite a bit of movement this morning. Going into tomorrow, remember we have CAD employment news. That should get things moving just a little bit, so just kind of keep that in mind. Let's dive over here to the charts and just kind of look at some of the setups that we've been watching and trading and going forward, and just give you a little bit of an update on everything there. First off, here is the Aussie CAD. This is one that we have talked about quite a bit. This was a setup from, I think, about 24 hours ago. So there's been some good movement on these guys here. We've talked about all these setups, and they've played out very nicely. You can see through the members, this is the members Telegram, and all these setups that I'm talking about have been posted with charts and with specific details and notes on how to trade them. Here's our Aussie CAD, here's some of the others. Here was the Aussie CAD trade, by the way. So we were looking for that little move, first target right there, and here it has done and moved pretty well. So we had a nice little breakout right around this 98.50 area with a good little move down into this 9800 area. So nice 50 pips on that one. All these have kind of just played along very nicely. The only kind of change in course that I tried this week was the Aussie dollar to see if this might break out, give us a little run up into this area here to kind of rebalance this slide down. It never broke out, it never confirmed, and it just continued moving down, which we still had these lower targets. We weren't really changing course on it, but we were looking for that type of a move if it did happen, which it never did. We never got that confirmation. So you can see here on the Aussie dollar, it has stayed very, very nicely inside this channel the whole time. Never even gotten close to breaking out, just keeps testing it and heading lower, testing and heading lower. So running into those targets very nicely. Our first major target, I really got to scroll back here. First major target's right here, 77.80-ish, and we have a low here of about 77.87. So it's just shy of reaching our first target, but it's done very, very nicely. It's stayed below everything and run down very well. So hopefully everybody has made some good pips on that. We have definitely been trading this thing down. We just took a little bit of a breather to say, if this starts to push back up, let's not give back all of our profits. And it never did. So there's been a great opportunity to just sit in this thing and trade it down and take it lower. So hopefully you guys all were able to make some good money on that Aussie dollar. That's worked out very well. We had a little possible head and shoulders on the Euro Aussie, never confirmed, so we never traded it. It's been kind of an Aussie week. We had the Aussie yen right here that ended up working out very, very well. So Aussie yen for this little kind of short-term rising wedge on the 15-minute chart. You can see Aussie yen. This is kind of how that one played out. And just broke out right around this area here, around 86.35. Ran down to about 85.35. So 100 pips, 100 great pips right there. So Aussie yen has done well. We've just really slayed the Aussie pairs this week. Not to mention, we've had at least we've had at least 2 pound CAD opportunities to trade short, and we've done that. We had this was a pound CAD trade earlier this week. You can see this guy. Let's see if we can find it here. Pound CAD. So I think this is our pound CAD trade. Well, this was one listed, I think, even earlier. Let's see if we can find that one. Pound CAD there. I think this is our pound CAD right here. So here's our pound CAD trade, looking for this pivot cluster right here, breakout and a movement down. And as we can see here, this pound CAD definitely did that. Was able to breakout very, very nicely. We had a nice move from around 174.85 all the way down to this double bottom around 173.60. So it moved about 120 pips, pulled back. We had another opportunity to short it, and I know several people did. And then obviously we had the news today, but there was over 100 pips of easy movement there. It didn't make it all the way to our target, but very, very easily enough area to lock in profit and kind of let that run. So pound CAD was an easy one to make some really good pips on. So we've just seen that happen. Pound, Aussie New Zealand gave us a nice little movement there. There were some pips on that. Pound CAD, Aussie Yen. CAD Yen gave a nice little breakout, a nice little continuation, and a move lower there. We've just seen movement after movement after movement work out, and so it's been nice to see that. So very, very good to see those movements play out. We definitely talked about grabbing some extra pips. We've been playing with and trading this dollar krone over and over again on this movement up. This was kind of a recent reminder right there to just look at some of those little breakouts and some of those little movements there. You can see that that little final push wasn't a huge one, but definitely enough to grab some profits and make some pips. It did well there. So anyways, it's been a very, very good week. We've had some excellent setups and just overall working out very, very well. So hopefully you guys have had a profitable week and made some good pips and good trades. The only one that we're having a little bit of struggle with is this EuroCAD. EuroCAD's given us a little bit of trouble, kind of gave us a bit of a fake break. Not a fake break, it was a real break, it just didn't hold. And that definitely can happen from time to time. So looking at this 153.95 area on EuroCAD, and you can see that this is a volatile one, so we always have to be a little bit careful here, but you can see that it did give us that little break. If we go to the 15-minute chart here, it gave us that little break. It went from 153.95 down to about 153.75. So it was 20 pips. That's definitely enough to at least move some stops to break even, but some may not have been able to do it, and it's pulled back just a little chunk here. So it's up about 30 pips or so, 35 pips from that entry, if you didn't get a chance to lock in somewhere in that kind of 20 pip range there. So EuroCAD giving us a little bit of trouble there, but remember, along with the EuroCAD, I posted this CAD Swiss chart here, looking for this little channel to break. We kind of have a little short-term inverse head and shoulders, and I was looking for that breakout above 75, 37 area, or a break below 74.97 area, and you can see that CAD Swiss ended up doing pretty well on the downside here. So here is 74.97, and here it is at 74.73. So 25 pips or so in profit on the movement down so far. So that is, in any money that you would have potentially lost on this EuroCAD, hopefully was gained on that CAD Swiss. So as you can see here, I don't think any trade that we've posted has not worked out, and I've posted quite a few trades this week. So there have been quite a number of setups here that have been posted for members all week long, and they have all worked out very, very well. So hopefully you guys have made some good pips and some good profits on those this week. So very nice setups, great profits, great potential, hundreds of pips this week. So very good. Okay, so remember, we're going into the news tomorrow for CAD pairs. Could be a little bit crazy, could be a little bit wild, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. A setup that I'm liking right now for sure is this guy right here to actually get long Aussie New Zealand. I like this setup, and I think we have a good chance to trade this thing up into some of these upper targets, and the upper targets are really kind of right through there. So we have a monthly pivot, weekly pivot, daily pivot, and then one of my favorite high probability targets here around 110. So looking for this Aussie New Zealand to get long. This thing may dip down a little bit more before it finally heads up, but should be a nice opportunity to buy some dips right around this area. Just scale in. This will be a very small, careful, longer term kind of trade, but we're looking for about 200 pips to the upside here. So CAD or excuse me, Aussie New Zealand should be very good. So we'll see how that one plays out. As for the rest of these guys, we're just kind of sitting on the sidelines here, waiting for a little bit of news. The dollar has pulled back just a hair, but seems to be holding and staying stable. And I think we're going to have a nice opportunity to trade this to the upside, continuing probably into the end of the week, but we'll probably see some profit taking happen before the market closes on Friday. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's been some good setups. We're going to keep an eye on everything. We'll see how it plays out. Thanks for watching, everybody, and hopefully you've had a really, really good week. There's still more to come. Thanks, guys. I'll have more details posted shortly.